Hello and welcome to Friday's second edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're going to be having a look at something that looks just magnificent. I think it's a series of puzzles, I'm not sure how many there are, called Fog and Phantoms by DubiousMobius. And we have been inundated over the last sort of 24 hours with recommendations to try this pack of puzzles. Apparently, somebody on Logic Masters, might have been Calvin Ball, who's always very good at coming up with a line about puzzles, said that this pack of puzzles is so beautiful it deserved to be stolen from the Louvre. Which is, it's very funny. And you can see, I don't know how DubiousMobius has made this. This first puzzle is called Raising Sails, and you can see there's sort of a big sail in the grid. But the graphics are just much better than anything I've seen before. So I'm incredibly excited to try this. It's got 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty on Logic Masters, 100% approval rating. Everybody is raving about it. So I think this is going to amount to a sort of quite a new thing. I mean, it's obviously Fog of War, which is I'm very keen on anyway. The rules are quite long for the first puzzle at least. That's the only downside. But we'll get to that in a moment or two's time, and read those rules together. Now, what else can I tell you about before we kick off? There's a crossword video on the channel earlier on today. The crossword in the Times today was by an old friend of mine, John Guyver. It is an absolutely wondrous thing. Incredibly hard, incredibly brilliant. Couple of candidates for Clue of the Year in that puzzle. So if you do enjoy cryptic crossword content, I really, really do recommend checking out that crossword. It is something else altogether. What else can I tell you about? Well, you may be aware that there's a bit of a fad at the moment in which YouTubers are having like fights with professional boxers. So is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? One of the Paul brothers is signed up to have a fight with a boxing match with Anthony Joshua, the former UK heavyweight champion of the world. And my friend Ewan, I use friend in the loosest sense, is trying to arrange for me to have a boxing match with Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson. And yeah, anyway, he asked AI what would happen if there was a boxing match between Mike Tyson in his prime and Simon Anthony, the YouTuber from Cracking the Cryptic. And this is what AI said. AI said, let's be extremely real here. Prime Mike Tyson, 5 feet 10 inches, 220 pounds of pure muscle, 50 professional wins, 6 losses, 44 knockouts. Officially the youngest heavyweight champion in history. Punch force measured at over 1,200 pounds. Some estimates say closer to 1,800 in his prime. Nicknamed the baddest man on the planet for a reason. And once knocked out a guy in 8 seconds professionally. Simon Anthony. It says wonderful human being. I don't know how it knows that. Extremely good at Sudoku. Also a slightly dubious comment. Probably weighs about 160 to 170 pounds soaking wet. I don't know how much I weigh. I know I weigh about 13.5 stone, whatever that equals in pounds. Has never thrown a punch in anger, we hope. His most aggressive move on camera is enthusiastically saying, "That's a 7," while pointing at a grid. Outcome in a regulated boxing match. Tyson wins in under 10 seconds, probably under 5. It would be less a fight and more an unfortunate physics demonstration. Simon wouldn't even have time to realise the bell rang before he's examining the ceiling lights. Even if we're generous and say current day Tyson at 59, 2025 Mike Tyson is still built like a tank and was sparring professionally 2 years ago. Simon solves miracles in logic puzzles. Verdict: Mike Tyson by knockout so fast the referee wouldn't bother counting. Simon should stick to gases, greatest of all solves. In the ring, he'd be the greatest of all victims. And then the AI says, Simon, if you're reading this, we love you. Never get in a ring with Iron Mike Tyson. And I think that's very, very good advice, to be honest. I wasn't planning to. My friend Ewan hopes I will. If Iron Mike is watching this, don't worry, Iron Mike. I'm not going, I wouldn't want to make you look bad. I have absolutely no interest in boxing anybody, actually. But especially not Iron Mike Tyson. So, Ewan, thanks for that. Thanks very much. What a waste of tokens. Anyway, let's move swiftly on from that frivolity, and let me tell you about other things. Oh, our competition has closed now for the month of November. So let's see what the final tally was for put out. This is over on Patreon. 858 883, just shy of 900. That's fantastic solving. Everybody who managed to solve all of those puzzles, that is terrific work. The video solutions are going to go up, well, probably today actually, over on Patreon. So if you did get stuck, check those out. All 7 videos I know are ready and waiting to go. Anything else to mention? Birthdays. Yeah, 2 birthdays to do today. Let me look. Hootie, you've turned the big 3-0 today, I think. And I know this because your brother Chase wrote to me. 2 of you apparently both enjoy Cracking the Cryptic and think it's one of the nicest places on the internet. And that is lovely to hear. And I gather, Hootie, you're going to be having chocolate cake and pie. Both are on the menu. And your brother Chase thinks you're the most wonderful brother. So, Hootie, I hope that's a nice message to get today. Many, many happy returns. I hope the cake and the pie are up to scratch. And then the other birthday is for Valen. Valen, your fiancée, Sarah. It could be Sarah. With that spelling, I'm never sure. If I've got it wrong, I'm really sorry. But I'm going to go with Sarah. Valen, I gather you're always trying to convince Sarah and to tell her about the puzzles that you find on the channel, and I really do appreciate that. People who try and spread the word about Cracking the Cryptic, that is most welcome. And Valen, I hope you have a great birthday today. I hope that the chocolate cake is very heavily iced. Many happy returns. I think that's all the news. That's all the news. Let's have a look at Fog and Phantoms, Raising Sails by DubiousMobius. There's a bit of a preamble here, so let me read this to you. It says, your life changed the day you picked up the heavy iron key that now dangles from a chain around your neck. At first, it was whispers drifting in from cabins you know are empty, then strange shapes dancing at the corner of your vision. Not a very useful affliction for a ship's pilot. Each day the whispers grow louder, and the chain grows heavier, and when the fog rolled in today, something felt different. The key feels eager. Those shadows in the mist that only you can see, they feel substantial in a way they never have before. Wherever the key is leading you, you know you're getting close. You just need to chart the course. Right, and now we've got the rules. It says, Sudoku, place the digits 1 to 6 once in every row, column and 2x3 box. Dynamic fog of war. So the grid is partially covered in fog. Placing the correct digit in a cell will remove the fog from that cell and may remove fog from other cells as well. Phantoms. Some clues are phantoms and may only reveal themselves as the grid is shaded. For this reason, you may only shade the grid once allowed to by the following rules. What? Okay, I'm slightly surprised by that because to my knowledge anyway, unless Sven has updated the software, I don't think shading does anything. That is a really peculiar rule. Okay, but I'm not even allowed to demonstrate things with shading then. I may only shade the grid once allowed to by the following rules. Okay, then it says Nurikabi. Shade the grid in 2 colours. One colour will represent the sea, and will form a single orthogonally connected set. The other colour will represent islands. You may only shade a cell once you have determined if it is island or sea. Okay. Sorry, there's a few more rules here. Each group of orthogonally connected island cells will contain at least one cell with a digit equal to the number of cells in that island. Okay, so if that was an island, there would need to be a 5 somewhere in it, is how I understand that. Hang on, I've now lost my place. All such cells will be marked with a circle, although that circle may not be visible until the fog has lifted and the cell is shaded. Every 2x2 portion of the grid will contain at least one island cell. Okay, so in that 2x2 there's at least one island, in that 2x2, etc, etc. I love the graphics here because this does look like a sail, doesn't it? It looks like a sort of old-fashioned Viking ship sail. Okay, right, hang on, there's some arrows apparently. Arrows. Some cells with circles also have lines attached to those circles. The digits along those lines will sum to the digit placed in the attached circle cell. Additionally, the cell at the tip of an arrow will always be part of the C and will count the number of island cells that can be found in the 8 cells surrounding it. Right, so does that mean that's counting how many island cells are in that section of the grid? I think that's what it means. Arrows only move orthogonally and cannot branch except at a circle. Okay, so that means that this arrow here, yeah, it could, actually you can see from the graphics, but it couldn't have come straight from this one. It couldn't have gone like that, because that would be a diagonal movement of the arrow, and the arrow is only allowed to move orthogonally, which basically means in a cardinal direction, north, south, east or west, crossing an edge rather than a vertex. Oh, sorry, there's another rule. Note, phantoms are tricksy and will cause some clues to temporarily disappear when the pen tool is open. What? Hang on. Oh my goodness, that actually did disappear. So the pen, oh, hang on. So this is important, I think, because the pen tool isn't always available by default. You have to make sure you've enabled your pen tool in the settings. I always have my pen tool enabled. I always have my letter tool enabled. But in this puzzle, when I click the pen tool icon by the side of the grid, you can see that the clue's disappearing. Don't worry, the clues will return when the tool is closed, and any markings you have done in the meantime will remain. That is an absolutely peculiar thing. So there's some phantoms covering up the clues whenever we use the pen tool. Anyway, do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual, but now I get to play. Let's get cracking. I'm going to have forgotten half these rules now. So it's a shading puzzle, Nurikabi, with islands. And this is a normal arrow, isn't it? Hang on, let me just check what the rules were for arrows. Some cells with circles. Okay. Oh, so the circle. Right. Right, so the circle is an island cell. Yeah, all such cells will be marked with a circle. So this is island, so we need to have a colour, don't we? So I'm going to have green. I was worried that was going to do something then. Okay, and the tip of the arrow, I think it said that was... Let me just double check. Part of the C, so we need to make this blue, don't we? Okay, but the arrow... I just want to make sure. I feel like this must all be the same arrow. Because the arrows don't branch. Yeah, I think that's right. But I don't know if it'll let me do this, but oh no, it doesn't. Oh, you rotten thing. I can put them in again. You see, there was an arrow doing that, and there was the circle with the arrow going that way. Now, if this was the tip of, if this cell here contained the tip of the arrow, these would have the same digit in. That's not going to work. If the arrow goes up there, it couldn't end there, because then this arrow, well, it could have ended there if that was a circle, because it says that arrows can branch at circles, but then this top arrow would only be one cell long. And that's not going to work because these two cells would be the same. So I think it's legitimate to let me just, yeah, okay. I think this is all one arrow, and therefore because we can't put more than 6 in this cell, that must be a 6. Because the minimum we can make 3 Sudoku digits sum to, if they're all different digits, is 6. If we fill, these are going to be 1, 2, 3 is what I'm alleging. I think that's going to be a 6. And that didn't clear any fog, so it's probably wrong. Oh dear. Okay, and now what does the 6 mean? So the 6 is... Okay, so the 6 is the size of its island. And what was the tip of the arrow? The tip of the arrow... Oh, so hang on. So the tip of the arrow is counting how many green cells are in this region. So, well, this 6 has to grow. Yeah, but wasn't there a 2 by 2 rule as well? It said something about you can't. Yeah, okay. So there's an issue here. I think this might have to be a 3. That might be wrong, but the way I'm getting to that is this 6 is growing in some way. It's not a single, because it's meant to be in an island of size 6. Now whether it grows that way or both, I don't think it can grow both actually. In fact, I think it might have to grow here, because this portion of the grid can't be all... Oh, I was going to show you, but the thing is, if I shade these without knowing them, there might be something under there, mightn't there? So I'm not going to shade them. I'm simply going to say one of those cells at least is green. And I'm going to say one of these cells at least is green, because the 6 must grow. So that is a 3, I think. Didn't clear any fog. Right, so these are 4 and 5. Okay, so can I deduce that this 6 goes this way? If the 6 went this way, how would this only be 3 greens? You see, if all 3 of those are green, one of those at least is green, the 3 is broken. So it's not possible for all 3 of these to be green. So the 6 goes one way or t'other. If it goes this way, then it's going to take 4 at least. So it only goes this way. That is green. Okay. So this is definitely blue, I think. And the blue... Oh! Okay. So that... Oh, okay. So what's happening here is colouring it is revealing... It's revealing what's under. Would it matter what colour I chose? Oh, you can hardly see it if you make it orange. Yeah, any colour just reveals the nature of the background. That's really clever. So all of the water is connected, isn't it? This is a Nuricabi. Yeah. Yeah. So this has to get out. So that's got to go there. This has got to be green as... Sorry, this has got to be water as well. Because one of these two must be island in order to... In fact, hang on. That is true. One of these must be island to stop there being a 2 by 2 of blue. But so must one of these be island. So in fact, that must be island. And that's it. So that must do that. Now, does this have to grow? Don't know. Maybe. I'm not sure, but oh, look, we've got another arrow here. So what's that one doing? That can't be a circle, because if this was a circle, these would be the same digit. So oh, hang on. This is also the tip of another arrow. Oh, this is really confusing. There are so many rules interacting. Ah, hang on. This 6 is not big enough, so that's got to grow. There's something here which is a number which is not a circle, so it's being added to 4 or 5, so that's got to be a 1 or a 2. And then either here or here is going to be a circle. That must be correct, because we can't add 2 digits to 4 or 5 and keep the total down to only 6. I mean, it would have been different if this could have moved diagonally. If it could have gone there, you could have had double 1 here, but we're not allowed to do that in the puzzle. Yeah, it's the same trick. This cell here can't be 4, because if it was 4, it already sees 4 in its vicinity, and these would both be blue, and that would be a 2 by 2 of blue. So that is 5, I think. Which didn't clear any fog. Maybe that one will. No. But I suppose this is a 1, because we're now adding 5 to something which must be 1. Ah, there we go. So that's 1, that's 2, and now this has to be 6 by mathematics, I think. Now, what does that mean? So that 6 is green. 6 looks weird. It looks like it's a smaller... Maybe that's a key, is it? There was something about a key in the introduction. You've got a key round your neck. Okay, so is that a key? It looks like it's trying to be a key. But this is green, isn't it? Because it's... Oh my god. Okay, hang on. What's going on here? So we've got... Oh, right. So we've got... Yeah, I think there's another arrow coming this way. Actually, that digit is a 4. Oh, bobbins. Can't... Well, I know it was correct. You just can't see what's underneath it. Oh, I see. But when I shade this, then I will see what's going on. Oh, this is weird. It's really clever, isn't it? So these are 2, 3, 5 by Sudoku. Now, I've sort of lost track a bit of how all the rules are working together. So let me just think that through. So I've got a 6 here that's summing 4, and it must be summing a 2, mustn't it? Because, well, if it goes up here, for example, it couldn't sum a 1 and a 2 plus 4 to only get to 6. But I don't think I know whether it goes down or up. I think there's a 2 in one of those positions. And that 2 is going to be the end of the arrow. So it's going to count how many green cells are around it. So if it was here, oh, hang on. If it's here, it's blue, isn't it? So it would have to get out. Ah, all right. So that cell's always blue. This one here, it doesn't matter whether... Because there is a 2, I think I can put this in without it criticising me. Because there is a 2 in one of these 2 positions, if this is 2, it's blue by rule, and that blue has to connect to its friend, so it would have to come through there. And if this is 2, it's just blue by rule, because it's the tip of the arrow. So that cell is always blue. Okay, so now that's great. That's lovely, actually. This is really clever stuff, because now this arrow that we know is going into this cell can't turn up, because it would hit this thing, which is a corner of some other arrow. So I think that's got to be a, well, I think that's got to be a 2. And it's the end of an arrow, so I get to shade it as blue. And now this blue has to get out, so that's blue. And look, it worked. It absolutely worked. These digits are now a 3-5 pair. This is definitely not a 2. This 2 is counting the number of greens in its vicinity, so that is green. This is such a good puzzle. It's really clever. Now, how is this growing? This is meant to have 6 digits once it gets to full size. If that was its next digit, oh, I can't shade it. I was going to shade it and show you. Well, imagine if that was green, then that is the total size of the island. It's full, so these would both be blue, and that would be a 2x2 of blue, and that's not allowed. So this doesn't grow there, it grows there, and these two have to be blue to seal that island in. Oh, and that's done some thingies. So is this 1, 2, 3? Oh, that digit is at least a 2, because it already sees 2. In fact, it can't be 2. It can't be 2, because if it's 2, it's seen its greens, and all of these would be blue, and that would create 2 2x2s, so that is at least a 3. So it's 3, 4 or 5 being added to 1, 3. It can't be added to 5. In fact, it can't even be a 3 here, actually. If that was 3, we're adding that to at least 4, and that would make this a 7 if that's the circle. That's too big already, so that's definitely a 1. And this can't be a 3. That is true. I was just double checking that. Actually, that is that's nearly. I was nearly wrong. I didn't think. I was thinking this was the circle, but that needn't be the circle. But if it wasn't the circle, it's still at least a 3 itself. So it's too big. So it is. So I think. Yeah, I think we can go further. This is definitely the circle, because it would be, if it wasn't the circle, these two would add up to more than, well, they'd add up to more than 6 on their own, and the circle, wherever it was, would be too large. So this is the circle. It's 1 more than this digit. So this is not 3. This is 5 or 6, I think. And therefore, as my WhatsApp went nuts during the crossword video. I think because of the Ashes today, which were tremendously exciting. It looked like England were absolutely getting pulverised in the first session. And then by the end, it was just remarkable. Is this obvious? Probably is. You're probably all shouting at me. I don't know what to do. If that is... Hang on, how does this work? So if that's a 5, all of those are green. Oh, hang on, I know that's green, because I concluded that was a circle. So that's definitely green. Well, it was green, but it didn't show me anything new. Bobbins. Oh, I don't know what to do. How do we do this? We've got... I mean, there aren't many places to look. I mean, that's the great thing about Fog of War, is that you can't really... So at the moment, this sees 3. Something here has to be green, but not necessarily both. to avoid this being a 2 by 2. And this is a great big chunk of island again. We've had a 6 island here. We've got an island here. Oh, that island can't be 1, can it? Ah, that's interesting. If this was an island of size 1, it would have to have a circle in it with a 1 in it, and it can't. So I think that cell is green. Oh. Okay. So, well, this... We know any arrow, because the arrows always move orthogonally, they're always adding at least a 1 and a 2 together, don't we? We can't have the same digit repeating on an arrow because of the rule that we can't have a diagonally sloping arrow. So this digit is at least a 3, but it's not a 3, so it is a 4 or a 5. So this region is 4 or 5 large. This cell is an arrow cell, and then that arrow is either going there or there. And somehow this is all obvious, is it? I have not got a clue what to do. What have I not understood here? Oh, hang on. No, that's okay. No, I thought I'd made a mistake, because I thought this 5 was wrong, but the 5 is correct. That does see 5. This one is seeing... is there some... Oh, golly, oh, hang on. I've got something much... This is outrageous. DubiousMobius. That is extremely dubious of you to do that to me. Where is 1 in box 3? It's placed. I didn't see that at all. Okay. So now... Has that helped? No, I don't think it has. I don't think it has. There's a 2 in one of those. There's a 2 in one of these. So actually, if that was a 2, that would make things tricky. Yeah, that's lovely. That's really clever. Wow, what a bit of setting this is. If that's a 2, how do you make the arrow add up? Because this is clearly going to be on the arrow. So we haven't reached our total yet. We're on a total of 3 with a 1 plus a 2 here. So I need to add to that a 1 or a 2. But I can't go up and get a 1 because of this, or down and get a 1 because of this, or this. I can't go here and get a 1. And I can't get a 2 because this is a 2, and I can't put 2 next to 2 or Sudoku will break, so that's not a 2. This is a 2. Oh, you rotten puzzle. Bobbins. Oh dear, okay. So, oh, that's distressing, isn't it? Ah, where's 3 in this box? And the answer is I don't know, as so often, but that's going to give me some more thingies here. So that's 3, that's 5, oh dear. That's also not, oh, 5 is now, I suppose we knew that if I'd thought about it. There is always a 5 on this arrow, because the difference in the digits is 1. So one of them has to be odd, and given the options, 5 was always going to be on the arrow. So if this is 3, this is 4, and if this is 3, this is 4, and that's 5. Do we know that this is a tip of an arrow? Because that would be useful to know. Let me just pencil mark it. It's 3, 4 or 5, isn't it? It can't be 6, because then this would be at least 7. It can't be 5 actually, because then this would be too big. So this is 3 or 4. And if we're adding, yeah, the only digit we could add to this would be if this was very specifically a 3 and then we added 1 to it, and we can't do it. So this is the tip of an arrow, and it is therefore blue. And there we go. So these two have to now be green, because every 2 by 2 has a green cell. Now that's probably done something that everybody else can see and I can't. What has that done? I don't know. And this is part of a great big collection of digits, because this is 5 or 6, so that's going to have to go off up here. Oh, bobbins, I don't know. Is this in... Okay, this one is either 4 or 5 large. Oh, I know what it'll be. I know what it'll be. Oh, in fact... Oh, this I can count. There's so many different rules you have to remember. This one is done. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just a 4, I think, because it's counting how many islands are around it. So that's a 5. So this is a 4, and this is a 3, and this is a 6, and this is a 6. Okay, we're off to the races again. So we need 2, 3, and 5 in the row. And that's not 2, and that's not 3, and that's not 5. So we are properly chocolate teapotted there. And we've got a whole load of dominoes at the top. We've got 2, 4 there, 1, 5 here, 3, 6 here. Oh, and this is less good. Okay, but this 3 is also something we need to think about, isn't it? Because this is saying there are 3 greens in this vicinity. Now we've only got 2 at the moment. And it's a little bit different to the earlier stages though, because we don't have to put the green here. It's not going to cause a 2 by 2 of blue to happen if this is green. The only thing that would happen if that's green is that this blue would have to... Yeah, because there's a 5 up here, so there is going to be some blue in that region. And that blue would have to come over here and connect to it if that was green. Which might be fine, I don't know. No, actually that's not going to work. I'm not having that screen. How on earth can I show you this without shading? Right, if this was green, the point then is, because of the 3 clue, if this is green, both of these are blue. So we're going to have to visualize this. This is green, this is blue. But how does this 5 work now? This 5 is on an island of size 5 with a blue here. So this 5 is going to be that shape. And remember, we started this idea by saying that one would be green. So you can see that you've got this ring of green surrounding a blue cell here. And this blue wouldn't connect to its friends. So that is blue. Actually, I've just realised it's not going to... Oh, it does, because of course it reveals something. Oh, well, this is beautiful. Right, this has to be a 4. Because if that was a 2, it's already got its count, and all of these would be blue. And that's going to cause the problem. So that's got to be a 4, that's got to be a 2. And now, well, this must be a 1. It can't be 4 plus 5. This can't be the circle, because these would be the same digit. So we're adding this digit to that to get a number that's no higher than 6. Oh no, I've broken it. That can't be, this must be wrong. Oh no, that's fine. Oh goodness, for some reason I couldn't see that could be a circle. So that's a circle, that's a 5, right. Okay, then the circle we know is green. So that's going to connect to this green. Yeah, that's it, that's lovely. Because this can't be green now. Because if this was green, one of these would be blue, and it would be walled in. So that's got to be blue. These have both got to be green, and that's got to be blue to define this green area. And now oh no, we don't know. I've got one green in there. Ah no, this 3 does it. This 3 isn't quarate yet. It hasn't got 3 around it. So that's green. And that means this 4 is correct. So we can wall that in with blue. Okie dokie. So what does that mean? This must be finished now. Come on. What do I have to do next? Is it Sudoku? It probably is, yes. Look. That's a naked single. It can only be a 1. It's okay, given digit. That's not expected. 3, 6. Oh, that's 3 in the corner. That's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Yeah, this is great. This is great. We're going to finish this one now, I think. 3, 2, 5, 6, 4. And now we've just got to do the shading. Right, how do we do this then? So let's look at arrow tips and see which ones we haven't used. I've used that one. That one is correct. Oh, no, I see it. I see it. Right, look up here. It's not possible all of these are blue. Because if all of those are blue, that's a 2x2 of blue. So there has to be some island up there. But every island has to contain its size. And there's not enough space for anything other than that to be an island. So that's got to be an island. And that works, because it's sort of, it's just a one island. So these have to both be blue. Oh, that's lovely. That is a seriously clever puzzle. Good grief. Right, now let's click tick. Yes. Okay. Let's read what it says. You know you've arrived the moment you see the island looming up out of the mist. Barely more than a pile of rocks washed up against a crag. It doesn't appear on any of your charts. The mouth of a cavern peeks out at you from near the cliff top, and you feel the quay thrum with excitement. The crew puts you ashore. They'll give you 1 day and 1 night before they cast off without you. You start your way up to the cave. So I click that, do I? Hang on, let me just like the puzzle. That was fantastic. Okay, there's another big load of rules. Oh, look at this thing. A great big purple collection. Tunnel visions. Okay, here we go. You gasp as you set foot in the mouth of the cave. The walls seem to shine with dancing light, as though a torch is burning just around the corner. The sea winds push through the stones around you in a choir of whispers and wails, urging you forward. But the key around your neck feels lighter than you can remember. You let your eyes adjust to the dark, and then step forward. Okay, so we've got normal Sudoku rules again. Phantoms, are these the same? Some clues are phantoms, may only reveal themselves as the grid is shaded. You may only shade the grid once allowed to by the following rules. Dynamic fog, that's the same. Cave. Shade the grid in 2 colours. One colour representing the cave must be a single set of orthogonally connected cells, okay. The other colour representing the cave's walls will consist of separate orthogonally connected sets, each of which must connect to the border of the grid. No cell may be shaded until you determine whether it is cave or wall. Okay, so that is an important rule, because there is a little trick you can do with caves. Thermometers. Digits along a thermometer increase from the end with a circle to the tip. So is that a thermometer this time? The tip of a thermometer will always belong to the wall, and the digit in the tip cell will correspond to the number of cells in that section of wall. Oh gosh, I've got to think about this. The tip of the thermometer will always belong to the wall, Okay, so the tip of the thermometer is sort of doing the job of the island count in the last puzzle. I think. A cell with a circle, whether it is the bulb of a thermometer or not, will always be part of the cave. And the digit in the cell will correspond to the number of cave cells that can be seen by looking orthogonally from that cell. Circle cells themselves are in the count, and wall cells block vision. Oh my goodness, this is confusing. Thermometers only move orthogonally and do not cross or branch. So I've basically got to forget everything I knew from the last puzzle and rethink this one, in which we've got thermometers. The tip of the thermometer is always the wall, so it's always got to get to the edge. So that's the tip of a thermometer. So we've got to have a colour this time. So what should we do? Should we do the same colours as before? I don't know if they're going to show up the same. So if that's wall, and this is, I think this is cave. Let me just double check before I shade it and get told off. A cell with a circle is always cave. Yeah, and this is sort of, this is actually a cave clue. Oh my goodness, that's a terrible colour. It's a cave clue. So it's saying, in this instance, because this is wall, it's saying how many cells of green it sees in its column. But it's also acting as a thermometer. So I wonder if that's going to go round there. That's at least a 2, isn't it? If that was a 1, this would be, the whole grid would be full of... See, is that possible? Could the whole grid be a wall? What prevents that from being true? I don't know. I still haven't understood the rules, have I? The tip, hang on, let me just go through the rules again. Sorry if this is obvious. So shade the grid 2 colours. Oh, actually no, it couldn't be, because this would be an enormous number. This would be 35, because it's meant to be the size of it. So if this was a 1 cell and this was wall, the cave is all meant to connect, so this could be the only cave cell in the puzzle. Everything else is wall, and that would be a 35, so that is wrong. So this, oh, okay, now that's bending. I don't know if I'm meant to be able to colour this. I presume I am, but I don't know how to do it. This is going to go round and touch itself, isn't it? This is going to be a thermometer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then that would be saying... Oh no, that can't be 1. That's not right. Sorry, this can't be a 1 because it's seeing cells. Yeah, okay, let's pencil mark it. That's at least a 2. 3, 4. It can't be more than 4 because this is clearly on the same thermometer. So that's 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. So 1 in this box has to be in one of those 2 cells because that is definitely a thermometer tip. And you can't put a 1 there because we couldn't put a 0 here. Now. Right, here's a weird point. This cell is not the end of this thermometer. Because if it was, it would be in the same wall segment as this one. The one above it, and they would have the same digit in them. Because the digit on the end of a thermo counts the size of its wall. So this is not the end of its thermo. So so all we learn from that is that's not a 6. Yeah, if it was 6 it would be the end. So it can't be a 6. So this can't be a 5 and that can't be a 4. So the length of segment down here is getting shorter. Now, what does that mean? So this is not the end of its segment. Does that mean that has to be green? I'm so bad at this. If that's wall, is there something about, hang on. Getting these rules clear in my head is very difficult. I don't want to be illogical, because that's all the comments will focus on. The other colour, each must be connect to the edge of the grid. No cell can be shaded until I know what it is. Okay, that's fine. A cell with a circle is talking about how far you can see. That makes total sense, I think. Thermometers only move orthogonally. So if... Oh, no, right. Okay, sorry, that has been useful. This can't be a 1. And the reason for this being... If this was a 1, it's clearly on this thermometer, isn't it? And therefore it would be a green digit, but it would be counting how many cells it sees in the various directions, and it would be hemmed in. It would be surrounded by wall. So this can't be a 1. So this is a 1. Okay, that does look like it's cleared fog, but it hasn't. So 2 is now in one of these cells. And okay, right, we said this couldn't be the end of the thermo, and I'm going to still claim that's true. So this thermo here, because if it was, it would be, these would have the same digit in them, because it would be blue. So this thermo turns here, where that digit then is a 5 or a 6. And I don't know. That's probably resolvable as well, isn't it? And this, oh, I don't know. This is really confusing. So this digit is 3, 4, 5, or 6, I think. And it's counting the size of its wall segment. And this digit is just lower than that. So, I mean, this is a terrible bit of pencil marking, but forgive me. So if... I don't know. It's going to be there's going to be some reason why one of these can't be a 2. I don't know what it is. If that's a 2, yeah, I don't understand the rule properly. I don't think. I haven't grasped it, have I? So, do we think that this is the end of this thermo? It doesn't have to be, does it? If this was a 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 6, 5. Bobbins. I'm not... Okay, I'm sorry about this. I'm feeling very I suppose I know the colour of... It's not going to be a useful thing to do, but I do know the colour of this, don't I? No, I don't. No, I don't. That's not true. I know it can't be on a thermo. That's the only thing I know about it. So 1 is in one of those cells. Which is probably useful in some way. And I know this thermo is definitely going to here, maybe further, and then it's going to hit something here that's going to either here or there or there or there, which is going to be the size of the wall segment that this is party to. And these can't be the same wall segment, because they would have the same, if that's the end, because they'd have the same digit. But yeah, see, maybe if that was the walls, oh no, then this wouldn't connect. I don't know. Okay, so there's something going on, but I still haven't got it. I still very much haven't got it. 6. Oh, sorry, if you can all see it, well done. Oh, where's 6? In this box. That's it. There we go. View. So this is 5 now. By Sudoku. Oh, okay. Now we're getting somewhere. So that's 4. That's 3. That's 2. That's 5. Okay, that can't be a 1. Oh, but we're going to have to think this through very carefully. Now, the 5 is a wall segment because it's the end. These have to be kept separate, so that's definitely green. This 2 means this is now, because the 2 is only allowed to see 2 cells down. This has to get out, because if this is blue, the whole grid is blue. So this has to get out. This is size 6, so it's going at least there. And, well, this is important. I think we're going to have to put 1 in the corner here, because we worked out earlier, if you put 1 in a bulb, it only sees 1 cell, and it would be trapped in of its nature by the rules of the puzzle. So 1 goes in the corner. I think we can just do Sudoku on these 2. These are a 3-4 pair, but obviously this one's lower. So that's got to be 4. That's got to be 3. And that then is a green cell. Now this isn't size 6 yet, so it has to grow. The 3 is meant to see 3, so even if it sees this one, it's definitely seeing that one. And this still isn't the right size, so it has to grow. This has to connect to the rest of its green friends, so it has to grow. Oh, this is wonderful. Now this is 2, 5, 6. It's a shame there's no rule about not repeating digits on islands, because I've seen that rule in this sort of puzzle before. Now, oh, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's like the other one, but slightly different. If this one went there, then these are both green to frame it. And this 3 would be wrong. It would be seeing 4. So this doesn't go there. It goes there, is what I'm going to claim. And now the 3 must see this cell. So that's got to be green. Now, ooh, can you have 2x2s in this one? I hope you can, because otherwise I've messed it up. I'm not seeing a rule that says you can't. So let's assume that I haven't messed it up, because it's felt logical. So this has to get out to be able to touch its friends over here. So that's got to get out. This 6 is finished, so these are all green. Oh, there's something that's emerged, which is a new bulb. So we know that a bulb... Oh, hang on. Hang on. That bulb already sees 4. And it can't be a 4. So that's got to be a 5, because it's a bulb. So that's got... Oh, I was going to try and write 6 into there. And 6 is the tip, so that's another blue cell. There's a new thingy that's emerged here. this digit is a 2 by Sudoku. These digits are a 1-3 pair. I think there's going to be a lot we can do here. I just need to think it through. Okay, 1 second. Let me mull this over. Okay, this 5 has to see more green. That has to be green in order for it to see 5 cells. So that's therefore the end of how far it sees. This has to get out, and one of these 2. There's no 2 by 2 rules, so we can't use that. And we've got this thing here. Okay, so this is clearly a middle cell on a thermo, but it's not a 3 and it's not a 5, so it's a 2 or a 4. So I'm trying to work out which way I think the thermo goes. I think it's very hard for it to go. Well, I think it's hard for the... If this... Okay, let's think this through. If this is lower than this can't be a 1 because it would be a bulb, and the bulbs are green. So this would be a 2. Can't be a 3 by Sudoku. So this would be a 4, this would be a 2. But again, it couldn't be the bulb. So the bulb would have to be here, which it can't be, or it would have to be a 1 here, which it can't be. So this cell is higher than this cell. And that is very nearly interesting. So I think that's 4 or 6 then, just by Sudoku. Right, so this one is lower than this one, but it can't be a 1, because then it would be a bulb, and it's not allowed to be, because it would already see, it wouldn't be allowed to see anything. So how could, yeah, okay, so that's it. How can this be a 2? How can this be a 2? It can't be a 2, because this would be a bulbed 1, and that's not allowed, so that has to be 4. Didn't clear fog. I think that has to be 6. That's 5. That's 6. This is 1 by Sudoku, so that's 3. I think that is working. It does seem to be clearing fog. These two, this is great. Yeah, because these 2 digits, this can't be a 1. We can't put 1s on the thermo. That's what we've learned. Oh. Okay, so I think that did clear fog, but it wasn't useful. This is a naked single 4. It sees the other digits by dint of Sudoku, look. So this, oh, we're chocolate teapotted. It's 1, 5, 6. That can't be 5, that can't be 6, that can't be 1. Bobbins. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. Oh, hang on. I've got to be careful here. I've got to have a 6 size region. That feels very difficult. Yeah, okay, I'm going to claim, I think this is legitimate, this 5 region, if it went here for its 5th cell, then these would both be green, wouldn't they? And this green would have to get out, so this would also be green. So these 3 would be green, and this would be green because this is the last wall cell. So those 3, all of these would be green. And this 6 clue would be the whole of this box. And that doesn't work, because something in this box is the bulb of this thermometer, and bulbs are green. So this I think goes down, and therefore these are therefore green. Oh, hang on, that has. This is really hard to see for me, but that is now. Well, what is it? It's just a counter. Yeah, so it's not on a thermometer, but it's counting how many greens it sees. It sees 3 already, so that's a 3. Oh, okay, and we got another given from that, so that's a 3, that's a 2. This 3 isn't allowed to see any further, so that's got to be blue. And okay, we need 1, 3. This is a 1 naked single. So 1, 6, 5, 1, 3, 6, 4, 4, 5, 2. So we've done the puzzle. We just have to do the shading. How do we do that? Is it? Oh, it's going to be this one, isn't it? So this is going to have to be the bulb, because we know there are no such thing in the puzzle as bulbed ones. So that is a bulb, which means it's green. It already sees it's 2, so these 2 are both shaded. Now, so this 6, in order to not be of size 7, is going to have to be those 2, and that's therefore the final green cell. That is a ridiculously good finish again. That is I mean, that's an incredibly good puzzle. It's an incredibly good puzzle. Wow. Okay, so now it says, by the time you emerge from the tunnel, the stars are bright overhead. Hang on, I need to tick it and say it's wonderful. Before you sprawls a temple complex collapsed into ruin. You must be getting close. So, what do we do? Click this. It's another big load of rules. Okay, and we're in a temple now. Temple ruins. Let's read the preamble. It says, the echoes of your footsteps bouncing off the walls of the arcade come back to you strange and full, as if your crewmates were walking beside you. You shiver as you look down hall after empty dusty hall. Oh, you look down hall after empty dusty hall. The sooner you can get out of here, the better. Right, and we've got more rules to learn. It looks like we've got noughts and crosses in this one. So, normal Sudoku again. Normal fog of war, or normal dynamic fog of war. Normal phantoms. The Great Temple. This is a new rule. The Great Temple. Shade the grid in 2 colours again. One colour will represent the temple's halls, and the other its walls. The halls and walls form 2 orthogonally connected sets, and every 2 by 2 in the grid will include at least 1 cell from each. Right, so this is yin-yang then. You may only shade a cell once you have definitively determined whether it is hall or wall. Okay, wall cells are always greater than any orthogonally adjacent hall cell, so they're fortress. Wow. So if this cell here was a 4 and it was wall, it would have to be, and these were all hall, then they would have to be lower than this digit, is how that works. Steeples. Cells marked with an X, okay, so I've got one of those, are steeples. They are always part of the wall, and the digit in their cell will be equal to the number of hall cells they can see by looking orthogonally. Okay, so the steeples are wall cells, but they count the number of hall cells they see, where wall cells block their vision. Good grief. Courtyards. Cells marked with a square, so that's that one, are courtyards. They are always part of the hall. Okay, so this is wall, this is hall. It's so confusing that they rhyme as well. They're always part of the hall and count the number of wall cells in the 8 cells that surround them. So they're okay. That's a bit like going back to the first puzzle then. Oh, thermometers again. Lines connecting cells are thermometers, and digits in those cells will always increase from the end with the circle. I don't know if we can see any of those. And then there's the normal caveat about the phantoms being tricksy. Right, so let's start shading these. So we've got, let me just make sure I'm not going to mess this up. So the steeple is a wall cell. So let's have, I don't know, should we use blue again? Blue. And then this one can be a courtyard. Oh, I'm not sure what colour to make it. So that's a bit too close to the other one. I think I can see the difference between those two. So we'll use those two colours. And this is a courtyard. And this is a, I can't remember what they meant now. Oh, so this one is saying, yeah, but this is yin yang. Ah, okay. Hang on then. Let's just think that through. So yin yang, no 2 by 2. Yeah, so there's going to be a 2 by 2 up there that's got some green and some blue in it. So this blue has to get out, right? And this is a break in the perimeter, isn't it? So those of you who've followed the channel for a long time will be very familiar with yin-yang logic. It's going to be hard for me to show you here because I'm not allowed to shade anything. But basically in the perimeter of a yin-yang, you can see we've already had one change of colour. And there's going to be a contiguous string of blue here and a contiguous string of green. And what you can't do, for example, is to have, imagine this was all blue. You can't then interpose a sort of green here and then continue back with blue again. Because in connecting these two greens together, you'll shut one half of the blue off from the other half of the blue. And that's not allowed by the rules. So there's going to be some stretch of green going some distance round and some stretch of blue going some distance round. And they will meet somewhere on the perimeter, but that will be the only time that they meet. Okay, and I can't remember what this rule, what does this one? This one is, oh, this was a count of how many blues are around it. So I've got 2. It can't be, okay, it can't be 5, because then this one will be cut off from the greens that must live up there. So that's at least 2 and not more than 4. So that's 2, 3 or 4. But it's not a thermometer, so we don't know anything about that. And then this one is counting how many of those it can see, I think. Which is interesting, isn't it? So what would happen if this was a 1 in the core? Oh no, that's not allowed by the weird rule. Oh, hang on, this is, oh, there's loads of rules, there's loads of interactions here. Because the wall is fortressed as well. So it's got to be bigger than this. Oh, this is big, this is huge. Yeah, so this is at least 3. I'm going to put 3, it can't be 6. We can't see 6 vertically. We could see 5. If all of those were green. But this has to be bigger than this, remember? So now, because this is at least a 3, those two have to be both green. And now we've got a thermometer here, which is very important for the following reason. Come on, brain, think of the reason. Well, I'll tell you one thing it means, which is a weird thing. This cell can't be blue. It's what it means. That cell can't be blue. Because it would paradox the fortress rule. Because this cell is definitely, 100%, this cell is lower than this one. So if this was blue, the fortress would be not correct. So that's green. Right. Now, there is a 2x2 rule, isn't there? So that's got to be blue. Now, well, now this has gone up to 3. And this has to get bigger as well. This is brilliant. It's brilliant because that's now this has got bigger. That has to go in. And now that has to be avoided. Oh, hang on. I've got lots of things going on here. And yeah, this is the same paradox. If this cell was green, it would be next to a blue that was lower than it. So that's got to be blue. We can just keep doing this. That's got to be blue. Now, this is lovely. Here's a good point. Here's a good point. By yin-yang logic, could anything here be? Could any of those cells be blue? And the reason they can't be is if any of these are blue, the blues have to connect around the perimeter in a contiguous sequence, and this 2x2 here is going to be too much blue. They can't have a 2x2 of blue. So if even this was blue, that's too much. So all of those have to be... all of those, they get another thingy. A thingy is... So, okay, I almost know the size of this thingy. It's 3 or 4. Because it's doing a count, it's like a minesweeper count of how many blues are in its region. And this has to be bigger than it by the fortress rule. So that's at least a 4, and it can't be as high as 6 because we're going up on a thermo. So that's 5 or 6. Now, what do bulbs of thermos mean in this one? They mean... Oh, they don't mean any... Oh, okay, so it's only these ones that mean things. These just have thermo meanings. Okay, but... Okay, this is great. This is great. This is the cell we're going to look at. Because this cell is indisputably bigger than both of those digits. So if I fill these two digits with the minimum I possibly can, which would be 1 and 2, this has to be greater. So this is at least a 3. And now that's a 3-4 pair. So this is not a 4, this is a 5. That's a 6. Okay. That's weird, because that doesn't seem to have done anything. Oh, no, it has. Oh, I see. I could have done this ages ago. This has to be 5, because it's counting this column. So one of those is a 5. Oh, that's great. That's fine. You can't put 5 here. It would be bigger than this bulb, and the fortress rule would break. So we have to put the 5 here. Aha! That's a thermo. That's just a thermo, so this is a 6. Now, I don't know what that means. I'm so dumb. How does this not... Does that do something? I don't know. The 5 is saying how many of those... This is saying... We don't know whether this is blue or not, do we? Yeah, we do. Yes, that's a reasonable point, actually. Of course, if this was green, it would be bigger than the fortress would just break. So that's not. So this is 4. And therefore, these digits... Oh, we can just write 6 into the top box. Sorry, Sudoku's been our friend for a while. I just didn't realise. These are 1, 2, and 3. That's on a thermo. So this is a 1 or a 2. And there's a 1, 2, 3 triple. So this is 4 and 6, which makes that the 3. So this is 4. These digits are a 1, 2 pair. This is a 3 by Sudoku. And now that 3 is counting... Yeah, that's doing a minesweeper count. So this is now green. I really would like to get a blue up here somewhere because... Oh, well, I would like it, but I can't have it yet. If that's a blue, I think I get a checkerboarding problem because everything in the perimeter would be blue. But look at this cell here. What colour would that be? To avoid a 2 by 2 of blue here, this would be a green digit. And this 2 by 2 would be checkerboarded. Green, green, blue, blue. It's not right, is it? So that's still got to stay green. Oh, okay, so that's a thermo cell. And I know I should know what that... Well, yeah, so it's this point again, isn't it? This cell has to be green, because otherwise the thermo logic is paradoxical. And that's going to mean something. I don't know what yet. These are 1, 2, and 3. Okay, sorry. I know this is going to be obvious to everybody. I'm just not quite seeing it yet. These are 1, 2, 4, 5, but we've got a thermo to consider. So this digit is not a 1. Now, that's obviously enormous. I don't think that can be a 4. I might be wrong about this, but if that was a 4, this is a 5. So this is a 4-5 pair. Now, one of these has to be blue, because we can't have a 2 by 2 of green here. And the 4 and the 5 would definitely be bigger than these digits. So that is not a 4. So that's a 1, 2, 3 triple. So this is right. So what's that done? So this is yeah. Here's the point now. This is it. This is it. Because now this digit is established at being quite mighty. It's quite a mighty digit, and it can't. If this was a blue digit, it would break, because the fortress, the green, would be bigger than the blue. So that's fine. This can be a green digit, but now this cell, to avoid a 2 by 2, is blue, and now we have to connect the blue around the perimeter, and we've found our second break of colour. So that's green to avoid a 2 by 2 here. This digit has to be bigger. It can't be 1. Yeah, it's got to be 3, because it's got to be bigger than both of those digits, otherwise it's broken. So that's 3. Oh, okay, I was hoping that was going to do more. Oh, that's still a win for the goodies. I'm not having that it's not a win for the goodies. That's definitely a win for the goodies. That's got to be green to avoid a 2 by 2 here. And that's, oh, well, that's telling us the order of these two. If this was 1 and this was 2, the order would be wrong. So that's 2, that's 1. Right, now these digits are 1, 4, 6. These digits are 2, 3, 5, and that's not 3. Now, if this was 2, again, the fortress would break. So that's 5. If this was 1, the fortress would break. We don't know what the colour of this one is, though, so we can't necessarily use it there. Yeah, it's quite... I suppose you could put 1 in the corner, couldn't you? And it would sort of be shielded, so maybe that's what we're going to have to do in this column. Right, okay, so now I'm stuck again. I don't think I've been very lucky with finding extra, like extra grid furniture under the shading. This is my second immensely long video today. It was about an hour and 50 minutes earlier. So what do I do now? I don't know. I don't think I know anyway. I mean, I haven't got a clue. This is so embarrassing because you get to this point, you think, oh, okay, that's not a 6, I suppose. Maybe that's important. Is it? I don't think we care about the size of this digit. So what is it then? Is it going to be... I don't know. Sorry, if you can all see it, I do apologise. It's going to be something to do with connectivity, isn't it? Can I double click the shading maybe? Try and think about that. I mean, I have to get these greens out, don't I? That's certainly true. Do I know if this was green? Then it couldn't be 6, so it would be 4. This would be 6, and this would be blue, and that would be green. So that would fix this as a 4 to not be lower than it. And if this is green... Oh, I tell you what you can't do, probably. I'm not sure about this, but what if that's green, then to avoid a checkerboard here, both of these are green, and one of them would be a green 6, and I have difficulty believing... Yeah, that doesn't work. Because they would... I was thinking maybe you could shield the green 6 from a blue square, but you can't, because this touches this blue square and this touches this blue square. That's a brilliant idea, DubiousMobius again. So this is not... It's not possible for this to be... green. That has to be blue, and that green has to get out, so that has to be green. Now this must be higher, so that's 4, that's 6, that's 1, that's 2, that's 4, that's 5, that's 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Well, nearly. We nearly did very well there. This is a naked single. That's a 1. So this is 2 or 3. This is a naked single 5. So this is 4 or 6. That's 4 or 6. So this is 2 or 3 as well. So we've got two looking like deadly patterns here. But how do we resolve this then? I don't know yet. That 5 looks like that's got to be blue to me. Although I will say, if that is blue, no, it's not. That's it. That's straight away. We've got it. That's weird. If that's blue, the problem with that is you have to avoid a 2x2, a checkerboard here. So if this is blue, this is a blue 1. And a blue 1 is a horrible creature because it mustn't be next to any green cells. And that would mean both of these have to be blue, and that's going to create a blue 2x2. Or a blue 2x2 there if you prefer. It's impossible. So that actually is green, and that's really strange. Because now that fixes this as 6. I suppose that's unwinding the deadly pattern, isn't it? So that's fixing these up. Now, this certainly has to be green now, because there's no way it cannot. That has to be blue to avoid a 2x2. This has to be green, otherwise the 5 will trump it. So this has to be... Oh, this blue has to get out. So that is the shading. Oh, and that's lovely. That's absolutely lovely, because this cell, if it was 2, it would see 2 3s, both of which would be larger than it. So that's got to be 3, 3, 2, 2, Boom. That's got to be it. That's a lovely finish. Yes. Let's firstly light the puzzle. You know the box the moment you lay your eyes on it. It sits among the dust and rubble, gleaming like it was polished this morning. The key slides into the lock, and the mesh of teeth and grooves is perfect. This is it. You rest your hand from the key and stumble back. The moment the chain slipped from your neck, you knew this was your last chance. You brought the key here, but it will have to find another fool to turn it. You turn your back and walk from the hall. You have a long walk if you want to reach your ship before dawn. What? No! No! So we don't know what happens next. Maybe that means there's going to be more puzzles of this nature. I hope so, because DubiousMobius, they were superb. The only criticism, and it's the loosest one, is that the rules were fairly lengthy for each puzzle, but the actual quality of the puzzles was fantastic, and the quality of the graphics is fantastic, and it's original and interesting, and I loved it. There, I've said it. Let me know in the comments how you got on with it. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. We'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.